was worth a shot. Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Math and Silly Hats. Today we're going to be looking at finding the slope of a graph of a line. Let's see what information we're given on ALEKS. On ALEKS, we're just given a line and 2 points thereon, but they don't tell us what these points are. We can, however, discover their locations by looking at the x and y coordinates. Let's graph this real quick. So we've got our graph here. Now we want to find the slope between these 2 points. I'm going to go ahead and label those points. Those points are 4, 2, and -1, -4. And we always label these in x, y order. So I first look at my x-axis 4, then my y-axis 2, and over here my x-axis -1, my y-axis -4. So there's 2 ways of finding the slope once we can see where these points lie. The first is to simply find the rise over run, because slope is, at its core, rise over run. So let's see how much we rise and run between those 2 points. So from this point, we had to rise all the way from -4 to +2. So we rose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our rise was 6. And from this x location, we ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my run is 5. Again, at its core, slope which can be represented as m, is equal to the rise over the run. Where here, our rise was 6, our run was 5. So 6 over 5. Now, a second way to do this would be to use the slope formula. So slope is also equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now this may look complicated because there's a lot of subscripts on these x's and y's. But this simply just means the second y coordinate minus the first y coordinate divided by the second x coordinate minus the first x coordinate. So let's go back and relabel these. This isn't just 4, 2. This can be my first x and first y. This isn't just -1, -4. It can be my second x and second y. Now let's substitute. My second y was -4. So let's rewrite this as -4 minus my first y, y1 was 2, over my second x, -1, minus my first x, 4. So -4 minus 2 more, going 2 deeper into the negatives, be -6 over -1 minus 4, started at -1, going 4 more into the negatives, -5. Now notice these don't look the same, but a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So we get the same answer either way. Either method of doing this, we can see our rise was 6, our run was 5, and that is the slope. Let's do one more problem. So we've got another problem that this time is going down and right. So this would be slightly different, but we should still end up with a solution. Let's graph it. Now that I have my graph up here, the first thing I'm going to do again is label my points. I can see them here. Now this point doesn't have a location left or right of the origin, So its x value is simply 0, but its y value is 3. Second point over here, it has an x value of 2 and a y value of negative 2. So its location is at 2, negative 2. Now let's do the same thing we did last time in terms of just finding the rise over run visually first. So here we're going to rise, well, we're not rising, we're falling. So what we can think of is this is like rising negatively. We're rising in the wrong direction in terms of the word itself, rise. So our rise is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a rise of negative 5 because we went down. Then from here we're going to run 1, 2. So our run is 2. Again, slope is just equal to rise over run. Our rise was negative 5 and our run was 2. So our slope should be negative 5 over 2. Now you notice this slope is negative. Now positive slopes always go up and right, like our last one, because you're young and bright. Your grade should go up and right if it's positive. However, if your slope is negative, you're going right and down. As if your grade were going right and down, you're going frown. So positive, up and right, because you're young and bright. Negative, right and down, like you're going frown. All right, let's do this mathematically now. So we're going to need our y1, y2, x1, x2. Let's label these points as our first point has an x and a y coordinate. So the x1, our first x will be 0. y1, our first y will be 3. Second point, x2, our second x is 2. And y2, our second y is negative 2. Let's substitute. First, we need our second y. Our second y is negative 2. Minus our first y. y1 is 3. Our second x is 2. Our first x, x1, is 0. Negative 2 minus 3 more is 3 deeper in the negatives. That's going to be negative 5. 2 minus 0 is just 2. So we get the same solution, negative 5 over 2. Again, we can double check this. Our rise over run should be negative 5. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over positive 2. We're running to the right 1, 2. Hopefully this has been helpful, and you can now do these on your own. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye!